Mr. Stickermania from Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky. How's it going out there? Mr. Beatles Pro Tom is in the house. Mikey Arugula is here. Uncle Paul. Polly from T-Shirt Express. Patricia from Little Beatles Corner. Johnny Ramone, yo. Did I catch everybody? I think I did. How's it going out there? What's going on today, Saturday? At noon earlier today, George Music from All Four Seasons. Hello to all. Harry's Music Room. He has a YouTube channel. He found in a thrift store a couple weeks ago the 1973 Elvis Aloha. How do you say that? A-L-O-A. Aloha from Hawaii. He found in a thrift store that was in the shrink and had the hype sticker for the Chicken of the Sea tuna on it. One of the rarest hype stickers that I've ever seen in my life, because it was only at a convention for Chicken of the Sea employees before the album was ever released in Hawaii. It was only given to people at that convention. And he had a high bid of $1,250 with 2 minutes to go. I bid $1,655 with 3 seconds to go and got beat. Went for $1,705. And I reached out to Harry saying I was the second bidder. If he didn't pay for it, give me a second chance. And he said the winner paid right away. So almost.
Uncle Paul, solo tonight, not now.
No, we got.
Don't touch me.
Sticker teenager here. He's got a Yellow Submarine shirt on. Put your hat there where you see your eye. Smile a little bit. You got to smile?
No.
You can smile.
The co-host has
arrived. You gonna wave to Uncle Paul? No. So that's why I got Elvis on the table. That's
Need a joke from Sticker Teenager.
No.
Yep.
That's a early
Don enjoys that.
extended play cardboard cover of Elvis, Any Way You Want Me.
And he asked this guy after you saw the Paul set list. Yesterday.
I was going to talk about the Paul set list. I'll talk about it now. Friday night, Paul McCartney played a warm-up gig at the Santa Barbara Bowl before 4,500 people. And the first time in 60 years, he played Help in its entirety. He hasn't played it in entirety since the Beatles performed it December 12, 1965 at the Capitol Theatre in Cardiff, Wales. Fans had to secure their phones in yonder pouches, so there's only a 30-second clip on the internet of him in a nothing's on YouTube, no videos. Yeah, that's why there's no videos, because they had to check their phones in. So there's only a 30-second clip of somebody outside when he was doing the warm-up. And people are already complaining that the set is 10 songs shorter than the last Got Back tour, but give the 83-year-old man a break. Dylan did 22 minutes of Farm Aid last year. He's younger than Paul McCartney, so if his show's only 2 hours this year, I'd say that's plenty. What do you think? So his first official show is Monday at the Thousand Palms in California. I don't know the name of the theater, but that's the name of the city, Thousand Palms, California. So that's my shout out to Paul McCartney. A couple other things I saw in the news. Abbey Road Studio 1, they're revamping it, a massive revamp of Studio 1. In Studio 1 in the late 70s, is where all the Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter series soundtracks were all recorded. Those soundtrack albums saved Abbey Road in the late 70s. But they're doing a massive revamp to Studio One at the moment. Let's see. Julian Lennon has a new video. He would be 62 years old, I think. And it's called Because. It's on YouTube. And it's not the Beatles song from Abbey Road. I watched it once today. It was pretty good.
Mikey says they don't want us to hear how he sounds, meaning they hiding his voice. So that's maybe why they did.
Yeah, could be.
Or
could be. He has about 3 backup singers that kind of mask his
Danny
vocals.
asked how the voice was, and Greg Theo said it sounded great because Greg was there.
He was at the sound check at the
stand.
Yeah, all right. It sounds a little better, I guess, when you're there at the moment. But when you hear it on YouTube or something, you hear it in a different way, I think.
Oh yeah, just like Ringo, like we can tell a little different.
All right. So what's on the table here? And then I got a few other notes. Kevin from Kevin Records got me this button here. It says the Beatles, Paul, Ringo, George, and John, in different order.
Mikey said the tickets were crazy price.
Tickets, how much were the tickets, Mikey?
On the leg, Mikey.
So that was sold out because it was only 4,500 people, but I think most of the rest of the shows on the tour still have tickets available. I would say they'd have to be several $1,000s a ticket. So those are both
10,000.
10,000. Wow,
Crazy.
So there's a couple original buttons from '64. So I have a button coming in on my show on Wednesday, October 1st, when we're going to do Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 13 with Mikey Arugula. And I have a button that's a 7.5 inches called saying I Love the Beatles from '64 coming in. And I should be able to show that on Wednesday. And I have the lot of disco cases coming from Rockaway Records coming through FedEx I'll have on Monday. Sticker Kid looks like he's ready to take a ride on a yellow submarine, are you?
Bad joke.
Bad joke. Brad Parnell. Did you ever answer, Brad Parnell, did you have your 60th birthday? That's what I figured. You had your 60th birthday.
Brad Parnell. Wow.
So Mikey and Arugula and I are going to be, if I can get this to focus,
there you go. Fun. I can see
Everything Fab Four Fest celebrates the Beatles' Rubber Soul, November 6th to the 8th at Asbury Park, New Jersey. Brad Parnell is 60 years old and 2 days old. Way to go, Brad. Brad is from Louisville, Kentucky. We have a couple of my local man, Dave, bought 2 items from me. He's going to pick up tomorrow. And here they are. He wanted the German Magical Mystery Tour with the blank side, Apple on the first side, 1977. It's got the printing on the B side, but the A side plays the regular tracks. There's just no printing on the label. And he bought the sealed 1980 Beatles box from Liverpool. So both of them have been sold. All right, can you put those back over there? Be careful. Other things on the table. Hello, Mr. Stickermania Kids, Dr. Rick. Is Dave Evans in here yet? I had something to show, but I gotta wait till Dave Evans is here. Gregory Theo is in here. And I think I got everybody caught up. Brad Parnell.
How can you see that far?
What are you saying?
How can you see that far? That little text.
Did you see what T-shirt said we sent a prize box?
Travis, I'm sending a prize box this week. That's great. Maybe we'll get it by Wednesday so we can give a couple prizes away during the live stream. Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 13 with Mikey Arugula. Tom Beatles Pro, you're going to come up and be a guest on one of our future episodes. That would be great.
Do you want me to show the first picture and then you can talk for a while? We'll give people time.
So Mikey Arugula last week bought a Meet the Beatles paste over from 1964. And we're going to show the pictures of it and give you guys about 5 minutes to see if Mikey figured out what album cover is underneath there. But let's see if anybody in the chat can figure it out. That is the right bottom corner. And then we're going to show the left bottom corner here in a second.
No, I only got the right.
Oh, you didn't?
One. No, I missed the left.
Oh, you didn't get the left.
My fault.
So we're not giving you too much of a clue, but Mikey did some research and a scan, I guess, and figured out what cover was there. I'll give you a hint. The album cover is from 1962 on Capitol Records. That's underneath there. Give you a few minutes, see if anybody has any guess of what's under there. Universal Vinyl, how you doing? That's the first time I've seen you on here. That's Tim.
What, the Universal Vinyl?
Yeah. Good evening, Tim.
And Mr. Beatrice wins next one. I guess he's talking about
the next one will be October 1st. We're going to do one more before we go to New Jersey. So it would be we want to do it the 22nd, 15th, the 15th, 20, October 22nd.
So Theo said Frank Sinatra.
That is not it.
T-shirt nailed it.
All right, T-shirt Express. Polly got it.
He said it's a great album.
The Fantastic. Show the cover of them.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me show the cover now.
This is a cover that's underneath Mikey's paste over.
Nova Snake said hi.
Fantastic. 5 Keys by the 5 Keys, released in 1962. Daniel Costello is here. Is that saying right? Dr. Rick. Novus Nick. How you doing, Novus Nick? We got a good turnout tonight. We're going to have a trivia question to win 2 extra Remco dolls I have. And of course, they're the ones that most popular ones, Paul and Ringo. You want me to do it now or you want me to wait?
That's up to you.
Here's the Remco dolls I got in the boxes.
Mikey wants to know how T-shirt Express knew that so quick.
That was quick. We didn't know how you figured it out from that one little corner. You must like that album or something. I looked at the 4 Freshmen and the Kingston Trio and Nat King Cole, all their album covers, and the Capitol Records just had so many releases at the time. 62, 63, 64. They just used the leftover ones that weren't selling and they pasted Meet the Beatles on top because the demand was so heavy. Those are on my notes, buddy. Thanks. All right, we got 3 Remco dolls in the original boxes. We got a George Harrison. He has no price tag on the top. We got a Ringo Starr that has a price tag of $166 on the top. And we got a Paul McCartney with a handwritten price of $1.88 on top.
No.
So this is a Ringo that's in a reproduction box. Show you 2 of them side by side so you can tell of original and a reproduction. So this is a reproduction and this is original. And there's a John Lennon. I don't have the box for it, but his face is pretty well bleached out. Must have been under the sun too many times or something. Capitol Records on vinyl is amazing studio. Yes, it is. Hollywood Walk of Fame, Beatles all near the front door. When I was out in LA in the in the 1990s, I tried to get into the lobby of Capitol Records, but I didn't get very far. All right, let's do our trivia questions on the Remco dolls.
No sunblock for John. That's what Novus Nick said.
Oh.
All right, let's see. We got this Paul and this Ringo that I'm giving away. Somebody get these 3 questions right. All your answers have to be in the same message to win these 2 original 1964 Remco dolls. Ringo is a hard body and Paul is a soft body. If you notice the bottoms, the soft bodies had printing on them and the hard body didn't. The hard bodies are worth more because they hold up better over time. Here's the questions. Question 1. What was the name of the master puppeteer who carved the heads of the Fab Four for the there's one man that figured out how these 4 heads would be formed. He carved them, the heads of these Fab Four, and then they made, what would you call, molds for them to make these Remco dolls. Famous puppeteer for like 30 years. What was his name? 2. Which Beatle did the Remco company manufacture the most of? You should know that from some of my old videos where I had those Remco boxes. Which one Beatle did they manufacture the most dolls when they made the Remco dolls of the Beatles? And number 3 is a little tricky. What other British invasion group did Remco make dolls of in 1964? They did one other group besides the Beatles. Remco did another set of dolls of another British invasion group. We got any answers yet?
No, yeah.
Question 1.
Mikey says that.
You're getting closer, Mikey.
He was the first. I figured he'd go look at the box. Here's the box, so he knew the box. Patricia.
There's only one Beatle that they made the most of, though, Mikey. That's close too.
Daniel.
That is not the puppeteer's name.
Greg.
No. Everybody's getting 1 wrong. The puppeteer. It's in.
Danny.
No.
And then Daniel said Felipe again, but he said that's the wrong name. How about Brad?
No, the answer was in this Terry Crane's book. Anybody else?
We got Whoopi Baby.
No.
And you've got Danny.
Oh, we're getting close. You're awful close there. Paul is the first name. Anybody else?
Yeah, Mikey tried Walter again, so that's wrong.
No. Paul's the first name of the puppeteer. Famous puppeteer that carved out the. We got a winner, Gregory Field. Good job. Paul Ashley. He just left out that E. And Paul was the one they made the most of. You can see that on my Remco box, shipping box that Mikey Rugla has. And Dave Clark 5 were the ones they made a full Dave Clark, and then they made miniature of the other 4. So way to go, Gregory Field.
Good job, good job. Sticker time yet? You got a joke?
No.
Why not?
Please use your face up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Got all these.
Write a joke.
We've been sold, I guess, at the checkouts. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Tom Beatles Pro, where they sold at the checkouts in grocery stores in the mid '60s. That would have been issue number 1. They all were 15 cents. Then you go into that one's got some shindig on the cover, some help on the cover. That's an early one of the Beatles in America. All right, way to go, Greg. And we got another one that's all about help. And we got one on the Dave Clark 5. So I pulled all those out to show those tonight. And the first newsstand, so Mikey said he saw them on the news and magazine racks. All right. Mikey, you have a hell of a memory from what happened in '64. All right, you got a better memory than I do. Newsweek, this is the first major magazine in the United States that had the Beatles on the cover from February of 1964. Bugs about the Beatles. There were other magazines that beat this, but this was the first major newsstand issue that had the Beatles on the cover. We got a Connie DeNavi collection. Got a little shout out about that. Thanks, Mazzy. Fast shipping. All right, you got it quick. Media Mail. I don't think Media Mail works as quick from Louisville. I'll tell you a thing that happened in my packaging. Sent 2 Rolling Stones album out to Texas, and I had to take a return because I banged up one of my Whiplash boxes that almost tore the whole corner out. So hopefully I'll get a $100 refund on that.
Sticker kid, what are you doing?
I was drawing something until he messed me up.
Leslie Gore. I saw a video of her doing It's My Party. This one's Judy's Turn to Cry. And in 1963, she became 16 years old. These are all original photos I got from the Connie DeNavi estate collection of her at 16. You got Leslie Gore at 16. You got Connie DeNavi, her publicist, and Ed Sullivan. This was all a party at the Delmonico Hotel where Ed Sullivan lived. And then shortly after that, she was on the Ed Sullivan Show and did It's My Party. And I think it almost went to the top of the charts. Here's some other photos from the same time. Ed Sullivan and Connie talking. There's Ed and Leslie Gore, Connie. And I don't know the other people. And that's my.
Very good.
Hard or soft, I don't care. You're getting a.
Yeah, the others is what he's down.
Oh, no. No. I got a George in the box. But that's a soft body. George and John are hard to find. So that's my Connie DeNavi segment. Hey Jude. I was hoping that Dave Evans was on here. He was emailing me on this. But if he sees this and sends me, I know he wants this as an export pressing. My email storage is kind of full. We're working on that of adding storage to it. So my email's not working that great at the moment. But by Monday, it should be back to normal. But I played this today. This military export from 1970, and Andrew from Polygram Auctions says this is the best pressing ever of the Hey Jude album. They used the master tapes in at Abbey Road Studios and made a pressing for military bases only. And this is the best pressing ever of Hey Jude. So, talked about a few of these tracks that I played today. Revolution, you definitely hear Nicky Hopkins keyboard playing a lot more on this pressing. Paperback Writer sounds great with the background vocals. Can't Buy Me Love and I Should Have Known Better. I've never heard the excitement of those songs before until I played this album. This is a hot stamper. And Don't Let Me Down. Billy Preston's keyboards are just highlighted big time in this mix. This would have been cut shortly the first time, about the same time as the Let It Be album. You got show me your shirt. And Ballad of John and Yoko. You definitely hear Paul's background vocals a lot more on this mix. And I've never heard Old Brown Shoe by George sound so good as this pressing. So Dave Evans, you get the first right of refusal on this hot stamper. $200 FedEx ship, double box ship. So you know how to send me the funds if you're interested in this, Dave. I know this was on your want list. Excellent condition, military export.
I want to go home.
You want to go home? You're off. You know, you get to stay a couple extra days. You know why? What do they call it?
Fall break.
Fall break.
Fall break.
Crazy. You don't need a fall break. You've been in school long enough.
Show me that Beatles 64
I'm
book
not
back there
confused.
behind Terry Crane.
What?
You won't listen.
So talking about original photos from original negatives. The photo of this cover of this book went for $500 the other day on eBay from the original negatives. And I got one here from the original negative that's on my Stickermania 2853 eBay store. It's behind me, probably. Of the Beatles getting in their limousine in Cincinnati on August 20th, 1966, when they were playing the Crosley Fields. They got rained out and had to perform the next day on August 21st. Good job there, Sticker Kid.
I was wondering when you were going to figure out what I was doing. Yeah, Ariana stuck them together and did that.
Why?
Because that's Ariana.
Can I bring something in here?
No.
Why not? I need to.
What?
It's very important.
All right, go get it. Go get it.
Thank you.
So I'm going to show this Rubber Soul from Russia. That's what they're going to be celebrating the most of for the 60th anniversary of Rubber Soul. It's going to be 200 guests are going to be there. It's going to be a big thing. The fest, the Every Little Thing Fab Four Fest coming up November 6th through the 8th at Ashbury Park, New Jersey. Mikey Rugula and myself will be there all 3 days.
I saw like 100 participants and people that were like presenters and stuff.
Are you a little bit chilly?
Oh.
So I got this in yesterday. It says made in Sweden on the back. But when you look it up, it's a 1991 Russian kind of an underground pressing of Rubber Soul.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's on a white label with Russian label on it. So Tom Beatles Pro, is this actually a Russian pressing? I don't think the Beatles made any money on the pressing of this.
Can I get a pillow?
Huh?
Can I get a pillow too?
Well, go get one.
No, we don't need a pillow.
Oh, I can get a pillow?
You're not going to sleep.
You're
Chill.
fine. You're fine. You're
I
fine.
need a pillow.
You don't need no pillow. Chill out.
All right, some other notes. You guys got any questions? I'll just show a few more things. Beatles 65. Beatles 65. Somebody did a video on this album, how it's underrated. And I played it today and I understood what they were talking about. It's got the, Dave Dexter did a good job on picking the tracks of this. And that heavy reverb on She's a Woman and I Feel Fine really adds some excitement to those two songs. And it also has I'll Be Back from Hard Day's Night is on this pressing. This came out in late 1964. So they did do a good job on some of the Beatle albums that they presented in America. But the starts off with No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black. It's the same as Beatles for Sale.
Mikey said, that is Mr. Moonlight too, yikes.
Yeah, well, when the guy did the review, that was his only thing he said wasn't magic, was the Mr. Moonlight. Got rock and roll music, I'll Follow the Sun, and Mr. Moonlight on side 1. Side 2 is really a country album. Honey Don't, I'll Be Back, She's a Woman, I Feel Fine, and Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. This is a 68 pressing. How you know you have after a 67, there's no stereo statement down there on the bottom. If there was this stereo statement on the bottom, you'd have before a 67 pressing. But it's still on the Capitol, a late 68 Capitol Rainbow label. You can see how the printing is smaller than the original ones. But Mikey, we didn't leave out Beatles for Sale.
No.
Beatles 65 and Beatles for Sale. 2 underrated albums in the Beatles catalog. Talked about the military export. My butcher cover. Be showing a lot of butcher covers in New Jersey in November. That's my West Coast number 6 with a near mint peel. Number 6. These are almost impossible now to get a good peel of these after 60 years of that strong glue. All right, we did our trivia questions.
Yeah, you joke ready.
A few.
Is she gonna stay at my house?
No!
You better get it. Come on.
You're a joke.
Chapel Roan, a few moments of Chapel Roan. Sorry, Tom Beatles, bro. She did a great job of performing Barracuda with Nancy Wilson on the second night in Forest Hill Stadium near Queens, New York, near Mikey Arugula. And next weekend, she's going to be in Kansas City. On the UK singles charts at the moment, next week, Golden is #1 for 8 weeks in a row. Because they're an animated group, there's only one other artist that was an animated group that was #1 for 8 weeks in a row. Who were they? A little trivia question for you. Who was number one for 8 weeks in a row that was an animated group? Way back.
Bleach.
Nope.
Brad Parnell said.
That's it. Archie's. Way to go, Brad Parnell. Way to go. You got the trivia question there right. You got it quick. 1969, the Archies was number one for 8 weeks in a row with Sugar Sugar. That was probably the number one song in 1969. We have to say.
Jackson 5, and then Uncle Paul said trivia, the Beatles cartoon series celebrates 60 years.
Oh, they started 60 years ago.
That's crazy.
So a couple other 60-year anniversaries happened, and I guess I will come across them. Can't think what they are right at the moment. Oh, here's a 50th anniversary. This is a Richard O'Brien 45 of shock treatment. And what famous movie is 50 years old now that Richard O'Brien wrote the screenplay for and was one of the stars? Shock treatment, Richard O'Brien. But what famous movie that's been played for how many years now? Almost 50 years in some cities. And he wrote the screenplay for it. I went to it twice. That's it. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Way to go, Uncle Paul.
God, I've been watching that movie when I was little.
It's different.
It's definitely different.
They're calling me something.
The other things on the charts on the I said Golden was number one. Number 4 is Rave. She's got a song called Where's My Husband? A real good 27-year-old singer from England. Rubber Soul, Johnny Ramone, I'll be taking to New Jersey in my Rubber Soul presentation. So it is not for sale. Number 1 albums on the UK charts is Fugitive by Biffy Clyro. I don't know who that is. Sabrina Carpenter, Uncle Paul is number 2. And Lola Young is number 3. And if you can believe this, the reissue of Buckingham Nicks from, what would it be, from the 1975 is number 6 on the UK charts. All right, that's enough about my chart thing.
Uncle Paul 38,
Sabrina. We got the 5 keys all the way. I'll show some more things. Forgot to show this last time. This is a late 1964 original program from the United Kingdom of Beatles tour where Mary Wells opened up. Mary Wells opened up for the Beatles. And this tour was presented by Brian Epstein. So most of these groups were probably one. Sounds Incorporated, I'm pretty sure he was in charge of that. And Tommy Quickly, I know he was the manager for Tommy Quickly also. Cilla Black's on the back, Jerry and the Pacemakers, the Kinks. That must be a future one coming up. Arthur Howells and Brian Epstein present. So they promoted a future show on the back. And I've shown this before, the 63 program when the Beatles were an opening up group for Chris Montez and Tommy Rowe. That had to be rough when the Beatles were opening up for you. Any other questions we got out there tonight? Talked about the 50th. I thought there were some other 60th anniversaries coming up. Next year, we're going to have the 60th anniversary of the Beatles at Shea Stadium. Somebody took some 8x10s off their TV when this was played. in 1967 on American TV. Paul McCartney, George, and Paul singing on the same mic, and another one of Paul McCartney. But we talked about that. The Ringo Starr, I don't think I showed this, is a 1992 program of Ringo Starr. And look at the people that he had backing him up then. Amazing. I saw the 1989, but I don't think I went to the 1992. Any of you out there go to this 1992 show? Yeah, Joe Walsh, Todd Rundgren, Burton Cummings of the Guess Who, Dave Edmunds, I Hear You Knockin'. I Hear You Knockin'. That was his big song. You got Niels Lofgren and Timothy Schmidt from the Eagles. And you even had Zach Starkey playing drums, Ringo's son.
Uncle Paul, too, yes, I attended Ringo in 92.
All right. Here's another photo from the Connie DeNavi collection, original promo photo when she was the publicist for the Dave Clark 5. It's got Connie DeNavi right down there on the bottom of the photo. Dave Clark 5. They had 2 #1 songs. Trivia question, what was their #1 song they had besides Glad All Over? Tom Beatles Pro went to that show. Way to go. Dave Clark 5 had another #1 besides Glad All Over. What was the title of the song? So I got 2 different, one was 99 cents and one was 85 cents. Sheet music for Hey Jude with 2 different covers. I don't know why they had 2 different covers. I guess they were pushing on this one. They were pushing the group at first, and then they were showing the 2 main, Paul and John, on that sheet music. Then they had other sheet songs from that time where they would only put George and Ringo on the cover. All right, nobody answered our question on the Dave Clark 5. Somebody got it. Mikey Arugula got it.
What is it?
Because, way to go, Mikey Arugula. That is it. That went to #1. I'm not sure if Over and Over went to #1 or not.
That's what everybody else is saying.
Maybe they had 3 #1s. I thought Because went to #1 also. See, Mikey, you do know a little bit about the Dave Clark 5. 45th anniversary of another one of my favorite songs, My Sharona, the Knack. Let's see. We talked about the Black and Blue. Got the 45th anniversary coming out. They're talking about that a lot. It's going to have a 1976 live performance as one of the bonus CDs. Mikey Arugula loves a lot of groups. So do I. A lot of them are in the British invasion.
DJ Lee said he got it because he said, because I love you.
So weird.
So next year, it's Memorial Day. These 2 groups are coming to, or the main performers are coming to Abbey Road on the River. Cowsills. This is the original fan club card for the Cowsills from 1968. And Peter Noon is coming to perform Herman Hermit songs next year here in Louisville on Memorial Day. Here's an interesting little chart. This was put out by Connie DeNavi, and it says on here the artists that had the best singles, the best artists of 65 on 45 singles. The #1 group was Herman Hermits. And Beatles were 2. The Righteous Brothers were 3. Cher was 4. Sonny was 5. The Supremes 6. Elvis Presley 7. Gary Lewis and the Playboys 8. Dave Clark 5, 9, and the Rolling Stones were in number 10. The best vocal groups, Billboard Cashbox gave Herman Hermits as the best vocal group of 1965. Who could believe that?
Well, the camera's trying to focus, and when you do that, it messes the camera.
Hey, what are you doing? A little dance?
Don't touch me ever again.
All right. And my photo I got made from the original negatives from Connie Denavi is the Rolling Stones all doing their wanker faces at the same time. I have extra photos on this, but they're $25 shipped if you wanted one of those. That is probably the only photo in the world where the Rolling Stones are all making their nanker faces at the same time. And you know that instead of Jagger Richards, they had Nanker Pledge as the credits when Jagger and Richards wrote songs for the first 2 years because they were embarrassed they were going up against the Beatles and writing songs. But after Satisfaction, they put Jagger Richards. All right. Where we at on time?
46 minutes.
46 minutes.
What does that mean?
That's how long we've been on. So
Any final questions here in the last few minutes? We lost. I don't know if I said this yet, but
yeah, you said it last.
All right, she passed away a few days last week. Claudia Carnell. I found the Sgt. Pepper.
Brad Parnell said.
All right. Well, Brad, thanks. What did Because was a big hit. Was it never number 1 in the United States? Over and over. That was a cover. Glad All Over took the Beatles off the top of the charts in the United Kingdom, I'm pretty sure. I found the Sgt. Pepper Holland pressing left from my Holland BC 13 box set. So I'll be putting that on my Stickermania 2853 eBay store tomorrow. Sgt. Pepper, the Holland pressing. Near mint condition. Anything else I have to show here? I showed that Apple book last time. The Chipmunks Sing the Beatles. I don't know if I've ever showed that. Number 3 in the United. Boy, Brad's got all the facts. Way to go, Brad. Chipmunks Sing the Beatles. Anybody like that album back in the 1960s? Show that.
What's this?
What's your cover? Frank, is the convention going to have dealers? Will you be selling stuff there? I will be selling some high-end stuff there, yes. I don't know if there's going to be some other dealers, probably. Mikey Warugla would know, but if there's 200 guests, there's going to be a few other dealers, I'd say. Great cover of the Chipmunks. Yes, it is. Talked about those Apple last time. Show you what I mean on that stereo statement.
Danny put a lot of info on it, so that's why you was wondering.
So there's a stereo statement up here on the original pressings that's not on Beatle albums from after made after 67, but this is a 1966. This is the one I'll be giving away when I get to 3,000 subscribers. So get some of your friends to subscribe. I'm at 2650, I think, right now, 2651. All right. I think that's about it from Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks from Mikey and Tim from University of Vinyl. Some new ones we've never had before, and all DJ Reed, Johnny Ramone, Gregory Field, Brad Parnell answered a lot of questions today. Uncle Paul, I guess somebody put a Rolling Stones hat on me. Thanks a lot, Sticker Teenager.
You don't want you to be bald.
No, yeah, you don't want me to be bald. That's too early, too late. All right, I think that's it. I got a joke. Did you laugh? Tell everybody bye. Get up and tell everybody bye.
Yeah, well, Wednesday.
Come on.
Bye.
Remember, Wednesday, October 1st, me and Mikey Arugula for Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 13. Mikey and I are going to do some wheeling and dealing. See you then. Bye.